Welcome to the May 23rd, 2017 meeting of the Pequannock Township Council. Ms. Marsh?
In accordance with the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual meeting notice, which was filed in the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, published as a legal notice in the Suburban Trends newspaper, and distributed to all persons requesting notice in accordance with Township policy.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a prayer and a moment of thanks for individuals serving our nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Providence, we ask that you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding so that every deliberation will result in actions which will promote the common good and the general welfare for all the people of Pequannock Township. Amen.
Amen. Hi, Carol, if you could please call the roll.
Mr. Hurd?
Here.
Mr. Cole?
Here.
Mr. Phelan?
Here.
Ms. Winterfield?
Here.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Before we begin with our presentations, I'd just like to take a moment of silence and remembrance for two members of our community who recently passed. Former Mayor and Councilman Paul Hollick passed away this past Sunday, May 21st. Paul served 2 terms on council and 2 terms as mayor. Paul was very active in our community in various roles. Paul also served in the U.S. Army and served during the Korean War. Services are this Friday, 2 to 4 and 7 to 9 at Scalen's, and there is a memorial service for him on Saturday at 11 at the First Reformed Church. Paul was 80. The second member of our community is Herb Neal. Herb passed away on May 12th at the age of 94. Herb was a former councilman and 4-term mayor. Herb was very active in many roles in our community. Herb served with the U.S. Army during World War II. A celebration of his life will be held Thursday, June 1st from 5 to 8 at the American Legion Post in Pequannock. And you'll also see the morning bunting at Town Hall with the ribbons and flags flying at half-staff. So just take a moment. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, the first item on our agenda is presentations. We're going to start with something that we're all very honored to do. It's the Citizen of the Year Award. So I'm going to ask the council to come up with me. Okay, and I am going to call up our Citizen of the Year, which is Jim Bolte. I said I'm going to say a couple things. All right, just to tell everyone a little bit about this. Each year, the Township Recognition Committee solicits nominations for the Citizen of the Year Award. The award is presented to an individual who has performed outstanding service or made exceptional voluntary contributions toward making Pequannock Township the very special place that it is. These are citizens who continue to give their time, talents, vision, leadership, and assistance to the betterment of the community. We couldn't be more proud than to recognize this year's award recipient. The Township Council is pleased to honor James Bolte as Pequannock Township's 2017 Citizen of the Year. Jim, just to tell you a little bit about him, Jim is a long-time resident and has long served this community as well as his country. If you ask anyone about Jim's qualities, you will hear that he has integrity, selflessness, compassion, and righteousness. Jim has a warm and lighthearted way about him. He is always helping others. In addition to his community service, Jim also served in our armed services. So it is great pleasure that we present you with this proclamation that I am going to read. I know we're reading. It's painful. It's painful, but it'll really give you a really taste of Jim, but if you don't know Jim. Whereas James Bolte exemplifies the best of our community, offering assistance and support to veterans, servicemen and women, senior citizens, students, neighbors, and friends. And whereas Jim made his home in Pequannock Township in 1973 and has been a steady and unassuming leader in our community ever since. And whereas Jim served our country as Navy corpsman, from 1968 to 1972, okay, and has continued his involvement with our armed services through many of his activities, serving as commander of American Legion Post 450, where he participates in Veterans Day observances at Pequannock Valley School, is involved in Boys State, organizes and participates in the American Legion golf outing, and benefits activities including the Sons of the American Legion, organized and participated in a United States flag retirement ceremony, and served as finance officer for the American Legion at the county level. And whereas Jim is a generous and caring neighbor, the first and most active person providing aid in times of need, helping families relocate and return to their homes after our devastating floods, providing generators, serving food, and locating gas, supplies, and assistance for those in need. And whereas, while assisting countless neighbors and senior citizens and mentoring and chaperoning hundreds of Pequannock Township high school seniors and band members over the years, Jim has demonstrated that while serving the community is important and respected, it's also okay to have a little fun. Now, therefore, the Township Council is pleased to honor James Bolte as Pequannock Township 2017 Citizen of the Year in recognition of his outstanding contributions in making our community a better place to live, work, and raise a family. So we appreciate all you do, and congratulations. And I don't know if
The gentleman that's taking care of the car is here, Louis.
there he is. Jim being so tall, we kept saying we were going to have to get him a car.
Bigger car, bigger.
Bigger car. But congratulations so much. I don't know if you want to say a few words, but if you do, feel free.
I just want to say
pictures.
I'm honored. I've been in this town 44 years. My wife informed me that tonight. I have to thank everybody that had anything to do with getting me this honor. I appreciate it, and thank you all very much. Oh, I was told that the little guy went back to
Do you want me to give you? It's an honor to do this, so we want to keep the time. Oh, I did, but I missed it. I'm looking for my.
I was told by the Billy Montana that my son has to go back to school.
Okay. Let me get my camera. Wait. Does she have a camera? Oh, you got a camera. I didn't see it.
Do me a favor.
When you get a chance, I'm going to tap you.
You got a big enough camera?
Listen, stay behind Jim. I usually come on spot.
One more with Dad, and I just realized I'm standing in the middle of the family.
Look at it.
Excuse me.
That way your camera on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just line up the bottom.
Hey, buddy.
It's great.
You just line up the bottom of the camera.
I don't know what you're saying.
Good. One more, just in case.
Is my hair okay?
Yeah.
We gotta bring you in.
Looks as good as mine.
All
Wow.
right.
Get our phone back
All
together.
right, before we go away, all right, the family can go back. I'm going to ask you to stand over here. In the middle. Yeah, I just spelled it wrong.
She said it wrong.
I said it wrong. I said it wrong.
So short.
So I can look real short.
I don't know if they look. Yeah, I know, that's the hardest part. Look here. Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank all these people. Yeah, really.
Congratulations. Hang it high. Big crowd.
I'm gonna put this one right alongside of Governor Christie.
Watch out, watch out.
And the Green Bay.
We learned one thing in the military. We never discuss politics around people. I'm allowed to say that I will put it alongside of Governor Christie, but it doesn't mean that I like the man.
All right, congratulations.
Yeah, you guys can stay down. I'll just get one. Yeah, come back down. We have another presentation, so I'll walk all the way back.
No, no.
Walk all the way. I just have to get the. Oh, no, Dean has.
And you have to be in the back.
All right. All right, our second presentation is recognition of EMS Week. So I'm going to ask the entire first aid squad to come up, led by Chief Lyons. And as most of you,
Where's the shutter? Right here in front?
as most of you may know, May 21st through 27th is EMS Week. And just to give you a quick little background about that, in 1974, all right, Earl Booth, in 1974, President Gerald Ford authorized EMS Week to celebrate EMS practititioners and the important work that they do in our communities. On behalf of the council, we are in awe of what you men and women do. We really are. We listen to the calls. I mean, the amount of calls that you guys go out to either on any given day, week, month, year, it's amazing to me. So we wanted to recognize you for all the contributions to the community. Your response time is amazing. The professionalism and dedication that you all have when you answer each and every call is outstanding. On any given day, these men and women can get called out they save lives every day, responding to medical emergencies, including heart attacks, difficulty breathing, a fall down, an accident, drowning, cardiac arrest, strokes, drug overdose, or acute illnesses. It's just astonishing. You never know what the call is going to be, and we appreciate all you do for the community. So we know you sacrifice a lot of time away from your families, you do training, you do education, and you're on call. So we really do appreciate that. So we thank you for your service. And with that said, I'm going to ask Dave, our liaison with the First Aid Squad, to read the proclamation.
Okay, whereas emergency medical service is a vital public service, and whereas the members of Pequannock Township First Aid Squad, First Aid and Rescue Squad are ready to provide life-saving care for those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas medical services have grown to fill the gap by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical service system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. Whereas the Pequannock Township First Aid Squad engages in hundreds of hours of specialized training and continued education and to enhance the life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and accomplishments of the Pequannock Township First Aid and Rescue Squad providers by designating Emergency Medical Service Week. Now therefore, on behalf of Pequannock Township and its residents, Mayor Melissa Florence Lynch, and members of the Township Council, we do here proclaim the week of May 21st through May 27th, 2017 as Emergency Medical Service Week in Pequannock Township with the theme of EMS Strong, Always in Service, and encourage the community to observe this week with acknowledging and thanking the dedicated members of Pequannock Township First Aid Squad.
Answer like on average 600 to 700 calls a year?
Hold on, we have. Currently we are up to 264 calls as of today.
Right, as of today. So so the number keeps climbing.
Right. I'd like to thank the Mayor, Town Council, our Town Manager Dave Holper, continued support to the squad. Without your support, we couldn't function. We'd like to recognize the 45 members. This is a portion of our squad. Our youth here today going into the nursing field, and it's the dedication of these members, 45 members of the squad that answer the calls on a daily basis. In Pequannock, we're fortunate to have a great EMS system. It's not only us, it's from our dispatchers that take the call, our police officers who usually get there before us, our paramedics we work with from the hospital, and the hospital team that we work with when we transfer a patient. So it's not just us providing emergency medical care, it's the whole team, and it's really teamwork. I'd like to also make you aware we've had 3 of our members pass their AMT test, Julia Kroll, Marco Denton, and Kayla Taylor. Kayla Taylor recently is a high school senior. She was awarded the Morris County 200 Club Scholarship for $5,000. She was also awarded the Eisenberg Service Award, which is also another $1,000 award for her community service, Pequannock. Our members attended a search and rescue class on April 29th. We'd like to do a thank you out to the Pequannock Valley Rotary, who supported the training that we had, and that was between the fire department, first aid squad, police, emergency management. So we're all on the same team now, and we all have had the same training in management. And you'll see us in the upcoming events that are coming up, the Memorial Day Parade, the street fair, both graduations for the middle school and for the high school, and we'll also be supporting the Rotary 5K race. And we thank you. Membership is open. Anybody 16 and over, PequannockEMS.org. Go to our website, and our applications are available. Thank you.
You're aware that every council member knows when you guys have a call, right? Whether it's at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, whatever, we are getting the calls on our cell phones.
We appreciate the support, and we appreciate the awareness.
Listen, can we sit down?
It is.
It's hot. I'm going to take my jacket off.
Thank you. Thank you.
This needs improvement.
That's it, Jim? You're not staying? I'm teasing. I said, you're not staying for the whole meeting?
No, I'm going to take everybody to Pizza Man.
Oh, we'll be right there.
We'll be right there. We'll hurry up. See you at the parade. All right, the next presentation is our Environmental Commission. They're going to come up, I think, and do a summary recap.
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Tom Newman. I'm the chair of the Environmental Commission, and thank you for inviting me to give you a summary of our annual accomplishments. First, I wanted to introduce you to the members of the Environmental Commission. We have 7 normal members. We have 2 alternate slots, and newly this year we have what we call a youth liaison member. Thank you for making that position possible. So as I mentioned, I'm the chair. Tom Andrea, who's here, is our secretary. Jeff Moriello, who's also here, is our open space liaison. Ralph, who's probably at the store, is a regular member. Laurel Law is a regular member. Stephen Boyd is a regular member. Robert Cascone is our liaison to the planning board. We also have, as I mentioned, Spencer Andrea, who's our new youth liaison, and actually Spencer is about to turn 18 in July, June.
18 years old.
18 years old.
Oh.
And he drives around in his spiffy sports car, too.
There you go.
I feel sorry for his dad.
So when he turns 18, as I understand it, he actually gets to be too old to be our youth liaison.
Ah.
So we wanted to recommend that he be appointed as an alternate member, since he's been coming to our meetings. And we have another youth person who we have encouraged to submit an application to you, so hopefully you get that application and can appoint a new youth liaison. And the application.
We've all received it.
Very good.
We've all received it.
Thank you. Oh, and look at that, I didn't update that Kathy Winterfield is our liaison.
Well, I did notice that, but I figured you were reporting on last year, so I let you get away with it.
Okay, thank you.
It's in draft mode. I was going to respond, and I said, no, I'll let him get away with it.
Thanks. So our mission, the Environmental Commission's mission, is to represent the public and its long-term, it's a key point there, long-term interests as local environmental advocates. And we have several ways that we work to those goals. We advise the town council, the planning board, and the zoning boards about a wide range of environmental issues that affect the town as they come up. We advocate for open space preservation. One of my favorite activities is we keep the residents informed about issues, whether it's recycling or toxic sites that might be around town, how to prevent toxic sites from forming around town, things like that. So we promote environmental education, and we also endeavor to work with our neighboring environmental commissions, and there are several things that we've coordinated on over the years. So our typical activities, we have our regular meetings once a month. That's the second Wednesday of every month, 7:30 in this building. We are often asked to review development plans, especially if there is some waiver, environmentally related waiver, such as encroachment on wetlands or something like that. So we comment on those and pass those on. We engage, as I said, in public outreach and education activities. We answer questions that we receive from the public. We have a website where the public can just click on a link and that sends us an email automatically, and we, as Kathy can tell you, we get back to those immediately. We also participate in our annual river and stream bank cleanup. We do stream inspections,
And one of our biggest projects that we do about once every 7 to 10 years is an update of the environmental resource inventory, which is quite a nice document. If you're not familiar with it, I'd be happy to show you. It is accessible on our website. And we're about due to update that, and I'll talk about that a little later on. So let's talk about some of these activities. First, I'd like to talk about the stream inspections. The town council asked us to perform these back in 2007 with the objective of documenting conditions as they are at the time of the inspection, look for issues such as issues that may affect drainage and might exacerbate flooding, or pollution. You know, if there's a car battery or something next to a stream, obviously we'd want to remove that. Or if it's too big for us to remove, we'll contact DPW. So over the last year or so, we've completed 5 stream inspections. Pompton River, a tributary of the Pompton River over there on the other side of Route 23 that I called Carlson's Creek, just by virtue of where it goes. A creek up by the Cedar Crest property up in Mountainside Park. Vermont Ditch, which is by Woodland Lake, and Myers Brook, which runs along Woodland Lake. So those are the 5 that we did. The last 2 you see asterisks. Those are repeats. Back in 2008 or so, we did those the first time. So now we've actually completed a whole cycle, and we're now forming a basis of comparison, if you will. So we can go back to those earlier reports and compare changes. These reports are then incorporated every time we update the ERI. They become part of the appendix of the ERI. So they provide a nice documentation moving forward for the way things were. So if the town ever has reason to go back and say, you know, this is some problem that somebody caused or something caused, you can go back and see whether that problem existed, or if you could see it, if it existed back years before. I just have some shots of a recent inspection. This is up by Cedar Crest. You'll see a boardwalk here. That was an Eagle Scout project a few years ago. When Cedar Crest was built, we were charged with making sure that the developer took certain steps to protect the wetlands area. This is, if you've never been up here, this is part of Mountainside Park. It's a beautiful wetlands area, and the developer had to go through certain steps not to infringe on this area or to destroy the area. Part of the risk here is if the trees die, then there's an increase in light that is able to hit this marshland area, and we get uncontrolled growth of marsh grasses like Phragmites. And that would be a completely different type of ecosystem and not a mountain wetlands like we enjoy. Well, when I was there in November, I noticed that someone had cut down at least 6 of the trees. Maybe they were dead, I don't know, but we forwarded this finding onto the town council and Dave Holberg so that he could pursue it as he saw fit. And I think he's still in the process of tracking it down.
Yeah, we don't know who cut the trees down.
Right. This is one that we just did in February. This is Myers Brook, and I'm showing here a map where you can see Woodland Lake at the bottom portion. Myers Brook runs along Woodland Lake toward Route 23 and then on to Pompton River. And the photo that I have here is taken in this area, and I included it, highlighted it in the report because there was construction going on this lot back here, and I wasn't sure whether that was something that was condoned or known about. I thought that lot might be town property, so it's another example of something that I documented and passing on to the council and the DPW and anyone else who would like me to forward it to.
That was this year?
Yes, that was in February. Another activity that we do every year is we participate in the annual river cleanup. And Rudy Steinthal, as you know, is the coordinator. He does a great job handling that. He's a former Environmental Commission member. We assist him in coordinating this, and of course we volunteer to help lead teams to clean up the various areas. So typically we get about 70 volunteers, and we, as I said, we break them up into different teams and go to different places. We also help out youth who need public service credits by signing their participation forms. So I have some examples. This is an area across from the Stop and Shop, Jackson Crossroad.
Where the guy was living?
That's exactly where the guy was living, that's right. So this is the before picture. I thought to take a picture before we clean this one up, and then that's the after picture. So,
You missed
whoop. Yeah, so there's the difference. We collect quite a bit of material, and I find it very interesting that you can look at a lot, a parcel of land, and not think that it has that much material, but when you go in there and start picking it up, you get bags and bags of debris. Another accomplishment that we did in the past 12 months, we participated in the street fair in June of 2016. We did a recycling outreach, public education outreach in the form of a game. So we're teaching people how to recycle properly and how to dispose of other items. We took any public questions, and we also invited the Mosquito Commission to come, and they kind of shared our table. Similar activity at the Hoedown. We did the exact same recycling message. And you might ask, well, why are we doing that message? Because when you ask the public, nobody knows. Despite best efforts, nobody knows how to recycle. So we do this interesting game, and you can see the kids here having a great time at the Hoedown. We gave out, these are called string bags. I guess they're popular with the kids. So we give those out as prizes for successful completion of the game. Another activity we did in the past 12 months is we typically do something like this. We'll bring in an expert to lead a hike, and this guy, Bob Sanders, is from Bergen County. He is an expert, if you will, on edible wild plants. So we contacted Cedar Crest because we thought a bunch of residents up there might be interested in this sort of thing. He did a classroom aspect of the presentation where he had textbooks and slides and things like that. He even had food that he had prepared and brought in. The residents up there and other residents from the town who came up to see it really enjoyed that. And then we went out to that same boardwalk I showed on the prior photo to do a short hike, and Bob Saunders pointed out some of the plants that you can eat.
Carol, you went to that one, is that you?
Apparently.
Oh, there you go.
I was having a bad hair day, okay? The
So we
food was
actually
not
had
foraged as far as I could tell. It was pretty good. And the talk was actually really interesting. Good.
We had two versions. We had a fall version and a spring version because they're different plants. Another thing we do, kind of aligned with the recycling, is we try to encourage proper disposal of things that shouldn't go in the trash. And actually, the trash collectors shouldn't pick up certain things like televisions. People really don't understand that you can't just put a television out at the curb and have it be taken away by the trash collector. So we developed a sticker, which is shown here. It's a green fluorescent sticker, which provides additional information for the residents. So hopefully they see that and just read it, and it tells them where they can take it. We've applied about 30 of those stickers to date. Some other things we've done in the schools, we have an increasing presence or collaboration with what's happening in the schools. At the high school, we participated this year in a wellness green fair. That was in January. We had a booth and did that recycling game again. We also brought in our Watershed Ambassador, which is a great program that we can take advantage of, where there are people who are trained over the summer to be these watershed ambassadors. They can go out to streams and sample them and look for pollution problems and things like that. And they help us in our public outreach activities. So Kathleen Fitzgerald came and did a, what they call it's a non-point source pollution model that fits on a table. And it just demonstrates to students how when rain falls on the ground, it can transport pollutants to the rivers and waterways. So she came to that. We also have been coordinating closely with the high school environmental club. And that, ebbs and flows with the students' other activities. At PV Middle School, the Watershed Ambassador came there with a group there and trained some students how to do those biological stream assessments. And also demonstrated how to do it by going out to a stream and actually doing it with them. And at the elementary schools, the watershed ambassador performed that same tabletop runoff demonstration that I mentioned before. We also have Tom Andrea. Are you still at NBS?
No, just at PV with
Just
the
at PV.
environmental club.
Tom works with the environmental club at PV Middle School too. Then with DPW, a year ago, we participated with Joe Golden in assisting to give out those tree saplings. In April of last year, we worked with the library and the Suburban Women's Club to do an Earth Day. We sponsored a movie about too much plastic in our lives, and that was an interesting movie. And then finally, earlier this year, and I think Kathy, you participated in this, the Association of New Jersey Environmental Commissions sponsor training on how to be effective environmental commissions and other interesting topics. So we had 3 or 4 members go to that. I mentioned this before, the environmental resource inventory. This is a real, it's like an encyclopedia. It's 430 pages. It's a compendium of all kinds of materials. It's got information about the rivers, lakes, streams, geology, topography, historical sites even, soils, wetlands, the vegetation in town, wildlife in town, population density, slopes of the ground, all kinds of information, even frequency of earthquakes, things like that. Anything environmental you can think of, we've got in there. So it's a great resource. And as I said, it's accessible right from our website, our town website. So that was done in July of 2009, and we try to keep that updated every 7 to 10 years. So we're due for a new one, and there are some things to talk about. We have a new flood map, right? We have a new water blending facility. We have some development that's happened. So those are things that we can update. And last time when we did this in 2009, we moved to an electronic format, which hopefully will make things a lot easier to update. Okay, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, happy to take it.
Great, good
So
job. Anybody
that
have questions?
document is on our website, right, under Environmental Commission?
Yes,
And it's PDF, I presume?
it is a PDF.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Interesting reading.
Yeah, it really is. You did a great job with the
Yep.
summary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, everybody's good? We're moving right along? All right, next on the agenda is reports from volunteers. If there's any volunteers serving our community that would like to give the council a report, please raise your hand, wait to be recognized. Anyone? Nick?
Nick DeStefano, the Pequannock Township Flood Advisory Committee. Just giving you an update. Actually, Ken just got back to me regarding the flood app, which is now live on Apple too. So you can now just go to the App Store and you put in Pequannock Flood Watch, and it comes right up. I just double checked. So just making sure that you guys are all aware that it's now all nice and
It's easy
clear.
to load it on your phone now if you haven't loaded it.
So under Apple, go to apps and then search for Pequannock
Flood Watch. Yep, and I just double checked to make sure, and it comes right up.
Is Flood Watch one word or two?
It's all separate.
All right, so there is a space.
You don't have that on your phone?
Yeah, no,
I already have it. but
yeah, and it seems
just so
to be
people know.
working fine, which is really, it really just echoes pretty much the township website. So, but I mean, it's great that now you can just click on one thing, and it's right there, and you.
But now tell them the other capabilities of that we were talking about with the flood app, with the inventory and alerts.
Pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Which, like I said, a lot of that stuff is already on the town website. I know they're still working on some other things regarding that communication, but I mean, most of that information is readily available now, which is great. So.
And I talked a little bit with the town manager's office about, well, it might have been Dave, but it was just about how we're going to he wanted me to ask, Ken wanted me to ask about the back-end messages and who's
Right.
going to control that,
Right.
sending out
exactly.
alerts and messages. Okay.
And let's see, the other thing is, as we spoke about, I know, I spoke with Bob Grant yesterday regarding basically where we are with this first grant, and still working out all the details with that before we start communicating with the first grant people, because at our meeting last week, basically one of our members is in that first phase, and he's like, nobody's contacted me yet. And one of the things that he had brought to our attention was, I don't know if it was somebody from the town, but somebody had told him that that you were not able to do like a carport or have it open underneath, similar to like what the Hardacres did, and we weren't quite clear of
If there was a
who that
change.
was that gave that instruction, but the one member of our committee had to actually go do whole new plans. So he had to go get new plans, because what he was originally going to do, he found out whoever this woman was said that, oh, you're not allowed to do that, no carports. So we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. I don't
where that
remember any
came
details.
from.
Now, Nick, you're
Details.
talking specifically about elevations. When somebody elevates a house, instead of doing an open plan,
It's all got to be closed in.
the entire thing has to be closed. All of it, or a certain percentage of it, or we
No
don't
pers-
know?
Yeah, it has to be completely closed in. So whoever gave him that that information, we just
We will
he
find out.
didn't know who it was.
We
so
cannot
just gotta
confirm
find
right
out.
now if that's true or not true, so we're going to
Exactly.
have to ask our
And Chris,
township
that's like a
manager.
very important thing, because I'm speaking to people already.
And we're
That's
not
what
that
they're
far
planning to do. And
Yes, we've
if-
checked.
If that's a local township decision or whatever. it
Right,
is.
so what FEMA does, we're checking for a clarification with FEMA, but technically the grant only raises the bare bones of your house. So if you have a garage that's separate but connected to your house, and you raise that, you'd have a lot of empty footage there in your garage, so, which would have to be heated and all that kind of thing. So FEMA still has to clarify whether that is eligible to be.
Well, like my house, Chris, is a perfect example of that. If I was to even go 3 feet above base flood elevation, I wouldn't be high enough to be able to park a car underneath my house. And I don't know, like I spoke with Joe Golden about, if it only allows you up to that 3 feet, when it comes to the grant process, you're only allowed up to that 3 feet. So if it takes 3.5 feet for you to be able to get a car underneath, if
Well,
that's what
I
you're
don't-
planning to do, you
Correct
would
me
be
if I'm
able
wrong,
to do
Chris.
that with this grant.
It's not that you're not allowed.
It just won't
It's just
be
not
paid.
covered.
Pay
Right, you
for
can
that.
pay extra.
Right, exactly.
8 feet, you
Yeah.
could. Okay, right.
Yeah, so if you had to do an extra couple courses of
That would be
masonry.
borne by the homeowner.
Correct.
Nick, we will get clarification.
But that's
and
just an
exactly what I was
interesting
gonna say,
thing,
is
you know,
what Brian
because
said.
as we start to you move forward with that,
Now-
that's so important.
Melissa or Chris, I don't know who can answer this best, but where do these restrictions or laws come from? So is it FEMA that would be saying that you have to close up your first floor, or would it be something from construction like zoning or an ordinance? Where would,
As far as I know from
Well-
FEMA, they actually
They would
support you
grant.
to have it as open as possible for free flow,
That we have to
free flow
change
of
the
water.
grant. The grant is the grant.
Right, the grant stipulates what is permissible.
so it would be within the grant that would be talking
Correct.
about? Okay.
And I think that's what they're still trying to develop now, whether there's things that can be,
Right, we have to have clarification from.
Yeah, that's
FEMA
what's so
what is-
weird with the
what's
Don
available.
thing. I was like,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, so don't
So
get,
we can only
don't
find
get
out
ahead
who
of
that
ourselves.
was.
Well, yeah, we're just a
So
little ahead
if, just to clarify, so I know we had a group of people that elevated their houses a couple of years
with
ago.
that grant.
They were outside of grant, so
Correct.
they could do whatever they wanted as long as they were with our construction ordinances, which would be like height, setback, and those kind of things. So as
Correct.
long as they were within the building envelope, they had flexibility. The people that are in the grant might have different restrictions because of,
Right, it only restricts them to what FEMA will pay for.
okay.
Which means if they want to pay extra to do,
Right, so if it was that specific house would go up 4 feet, and the homeowner wanted to make underneath usable, a garage or something, they could elect to pay out of pocket
Yes.
those extra 4 feet, let's say.
Correct.
Okay.
Do we know that that's actually the case?
We don't.
no, we will clarify
If
that.
FEMA's gonna clarify.
Possible.
Yes.
They may be able to
Correct.
pay out of pocket.
Possible, should be the word that we should use.
Right.
We don't know.
And just so you know, David, all the time I've spent, I have not heard that once. So everybody I've spoke to at FEMA, Chris Testa, who's handling most of the mitigation efforts in South Church, I have not heard that once brought up once. So
Let's get
I don't know if that.
Yeah, we will get clarification, the township manager's office will do
And
that.
then, just one more thing, Chris, just following up on an issue that I brought up a couple of months ago about the construction equipment that was used behind that commercial. I spoke to Bob's people, and, that was Mark, that was doing a bunch of cleaning and picking up all kinds of stuff back there and clearing out the stream. So it was being handled by DPW.
Well, thank you.
Okay, thank
Good.
Okay, next item on the agenda is public comment. Oh, well, before I move on, nobody else had any other committee reports, right? No? Okay. This public comment period will be limited to 30 minutes. If anyone would like to address the Township Council on public comment, please come to the microphone. State your name and address for the record. And I owe you a pair of socks.
Yes, you do.
Uh-oh.
What?
Ann Falstrom, 34 Marlin Avenue. It's a minor thing, it's just some question that I have. The fire pit that was installed at PV Park last year, I had called last year to see what the regulation was about using it. And I was told that there would be a permit involved and a few other things. Wasn't really interested in using it at the time, but I thought, okay, maybe next year. I called a few weeks ago thinking it would be nice to use it over Memorial Day weekend, and I was told it was not for public use, it was only for township use. Where it is located is between the snack bar and to the right as you go in. Movie night is held to the left as you go in. It has not been lit for any of the movie nights. When I mentioned that, I was told, well, it was used for the polar plunge.
I think that's
Which-
all it
I was there, it was not used for the.
No, it was.
Yes,
I was
it
standing
was.
right next to it.
Yeah.
It was not used for the polar
I was
plunge.
Yes, it
standing right
was.
next to it.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
It
It was
was.
freezing.
Yes.
Yeah.
They built another one. It was not the one that was built by the Scout. It was one that was built primarily for
I don't-
polar plunge with cinder blocks.
Right outside of the bathrooms, right? Right in front of where you wash yourselves off?
To the left. The one that I'm questioning is to the right, and no one is over there. It's by the snack bar, by the snack stand.
Is it off by the, is it in the sand area, or is it more by the basketball court?
It's by the lockers.
It's towards the basketball court, to the right.
Okay.
So you go in, it's to the right,
It's to the
in
right.
front of the lockers.
The fire pit that I saw that was lit for the polar plunge was to the left,
Yeah, right in front of the bathroom.
which made more sense because that's where everybody goes in the water. To my best of my knowledge, that fire pit has not been used yet. I'm wondering when anyone is going to use it, since it is located at a park that is only open during the hottest time of the year. And the
Oh, we do
park
have
closes
another one.
before dark.
True.
So
You do have an element over at Greenview.
I'm not at Greenview.
Right.
Just saying.
I'm
Just
at
saying.
PV Park. And I'm wondering
Was it?
what,
What's the purpose?
So you're wondering, yeah, what is the purpose? Why
I
can't
mean, other than
residents
sitting there
use
eating
it?
ice cream and candy that the kids get from the snack bar.
Right.
I don't have enough knowledge to be
It's
able to
not
answer it. We're gonna have
I
to look into
understand
it.
your reasoning, I see it.
Yeah.
You're saying,
I'm just
why do we have
questioning it
this?
because
Right.
it's taking up real estate.
Right, why do we have
And
this?
it could be a nice thing, I just don't think it's located.
in the
Chris,
right
can you
spot?
look
Where?
into it?
I'll check with Parks and Recreation.
And why the public can't use it.
Sure.
We can look into it.
I was miffed.
I don't blame you, I'm thinking, that's crazy.
Chris, do you have any idea when it was installed?
I'm not sure, but I can check
It was sometime last summer.
with Peter.
It was a one-day
Was it a Boy Scout
installation,
project?
I understand. It was a,
I mean, that's what we'll have to look into. My understanding it from these guys is it was a Boy Scout project.
yes, it is, I understand that.
I don't know
And
if
I
there
love
was
the Boy
rules.
Scouts and I think they do great work.
But
So can I ask you when you would, you said you wanted to use it?
I thought it would be nice over Memorial Day weekend if,
During when the lake is open?
well, yeah. I'm not allowed in when the lake is
Right,
closed.
Yeah.
Right, see, it's not, I understand what you're saying. It
Yeah,
doesn't make sense
what
to
is the
have
pur-
something
what was
in a
it
fire
there
pit
for?
during the summer when it's 90 degrees outside and you can't use it when it's dark because the park is
Well,
closed.
how do they regulate the one that's at Greenview Park?
Well, we have to
It's
pull a
run by the
permit.
park ranger.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So nobody
it has
can
to
just
be
use that?
inspected
No.
What happens if you went and used it?
by.
How do you know you can't use it?
we'll have to find out the purposes
Good question.
of the Eagle Scout project.
Yeah, how do you know you can't use it? Is it
Yeah,
posted
to
to
my
you?
understanding,
You
the
can't
Eagle
use
Scout
fire
project
pit?
is supposed to be for the community's benefit.
You're bringing up a great message. We just have to look
Let us
into it.
investigate.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Ann.
fire
You're welcome.
pits in town, you know.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Do we? Well, I guess we don't have any rules around it that we know. that
We
we know
need.
of.
There's also one at Woodland Lake, Chris.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Thank you for coming. Okay, anyone else, public comment? No? All right. Since we exceeded public comment time, we will move on to the agenda. All right, our first we have public hearing tonight on ordinance number 2017-05. Carol, can I ask you to read that ordinance, please?
Ordinance number 2017-05 is a bond ordinance providing for the elevation of flood-prone homes and the acquisition and installation of generators in and by the Township of Pequannock in the County of Morris, New Jersey, appropriating $5,500,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $5,500,000 in bonds or notes of the Township to finance part of the cost thereof.
All right, are there any comments from any council members on this ordinance?
I'm going to ask the question again, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
It says to finance part of it. Are we getting paid back for this?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I know. That's all I needed to know. For Chris.
Okay, anyone else?
No.
All right, if anyone in the audience has questions or comments on this ordinance, please come to the microphone and identify yourself. Come on, Nick.
Nick Stefano, 28 Greenwood Ave. The acquisition and installation of the generators, is that the generators from that other grant that we had received?
Yes, it encompasses the high school, which is the township shelter, the sewer lift station, and an upgrade to the DPW.
Okay, so that is that prior
Yes.
grant that we got. Okay, thanks.
All right, anyone else? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
First off, I'd like to make a motion to open it.
Oh, oh.
To close it. How's that sound?
Oh, my.
You can just, I'm sorry.
I'll second the motion to open.
I'm
Second
sorry.
to close.
It's okay, there's
That's what I get for reading. All right, so what are we up to? Are we going to adopt?
But first we gotta get this recorded.
Okay, so where are we?
2017-06.
I'm sorry, do we have a motion?
What?
We gotta finish 2017.
Wait. All right, so now,
now we're voting?
No, this is an adoption, or
this is an adoption.
Wow,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so is there a motion to adopt this ordinance?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Phelan?
Yes,
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes.
we'll get this right, don't worry.
We got a bunch of them to do, so we'll be good.
Next item on the agenda is public hearing ordinance number 2017-06. Ms. Marsh.
This is an ordinance amending Chapter 64 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Pequannock and repealing the 50% waiver for fees for floodplain mitigation elevations.
Okay. Are there any comments from council on this ordinance? No? All right. If anyone in the audience has questions or comments on this ordinance, please come to the microphone and identify yourself. Anyone? All right, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to open it and close it.
Well, that's, she's missing that. All right, never mind.
Never mind.
No, I didn't have it in my thing, so. All right, is there a,
I'll
should we,
second.
are we gonna make a motion to adopt the ordinance? Or, wait, he already closed it.
I'll
Crack it up.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
To adopt the ordinance. Can I have a
I'll second
second?
it.
Oh my gosh. Roll call.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Phelan?
Yes,
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes. Next,
May I?
go ahead.
I believe that the mayor can open the public hearing,
Yes.
but you do need to have a voice vote to close it. Motion is second to close and a voice
Yeah,
vote.
no, I was
Okay.
opening it. That's what I,
Oh,
according
you
to
were doing
this.
fine.
Yeah.
we're okay.
Yeah,
We're
that's what was
don't
cracking
worry.
me up. All right, next on the agenda is ordinance number 2017-07. Ms. Marsh. Right?
Ordinance number 2017-07 is an ordinance amending chapters 3 and 79 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Pequannock and amending the fee for an application for public defender services.
All right, are there comments from council on this ordinance?
No.
No? All right, I'm going to do it your way, Rich.
No, do it your way. I was mistaken. I'll
I
make a
will-
motion to open.
I'll make a motion to open it. Can I have a second?
Second?
Anyone in the public would like to come and have comments or questions on this ordinance? Can I have a motion to close
I'll
it?
make
I'll
that
make it.
motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call. I didn't have to do it that way.
That worked fine though, do it that way.
First
Go
we
ahead.
have to,
That works.
I'm sorry, now you got me confused.
Roll call.
We're up to roll call.
2017.
Mr. Hirsch.
yes.
That's funny.
Mr. Cole?
Absolutely.
Mr. Phelan?
What are we talking about?
We're adopting ordinance
Ordinance
2017-07.
He's so funny.
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes,
Did I get a,
you got it right.
You got it.
from Mr. Phelan, did I get a vote from you? Okay,
Yes. Mine was
You got
yes.
it.
thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is ordinance number 2017-08. Ms. Marsh.
This is an ordinance appropriating $667,000 from the Capital Improvement Fund for various capital improvements in and by the Township of Pequannock in the County of Forest, New Jersey.
All right, do I have any comments from council?
No.
Can I have a motion to open the public?
I'll have a
Portion.
motion to open 2017-08.
Can I have a
Second
second?
it.
Okay, anyone from the public have any comments or questions on this ordinance? Can I have a motion to close it?
I'll make that motion.
Can I have a second? All right, all in favor?
No, no, somebody's got to make.
I know. Make,
Wait,
Motion
she
to
was
adopt.
correct.
yeah.
Stop being a
Technically, you're
troublemaker.
supposed to do that.
We're supposed to have
Technically, you are.
we're supposed to have a voice vote to close the public
That's
hearing.
right.
Oh, a
And
voice.
then motion to adopt.
Can I have a motion to adopt, please? I'm
I'll
just
make that
busting these
motion.
chops now.
I'll
Can I
make
have-
a motion to adopt ordinance number 2017-08.
Can I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay. Roll call.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Phelan?
Yep.
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes.
All right, we got two more. Like we can
Next
get
on
rid-
it-
We can do this.
Oh, I'm just busting the stuff. Next on the agenda is ordinance number 2017-09. Ms. Marsh.
Ordinance number 2017-09 is an ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of Pequannock in the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, and appropriating the sum of $1,070,000 for the financing thereof.
All right, do I have any comments from any council members? All right, can I have a motion to open the public portion?
I'll make that motion.
Can I have a second? Okay. Anyone in the public like to come up and have any questions or comments on this ordinance? All right, can we have a motion to close?
I'll make a motion to close.
Second,
Second?
all in favor? Can I have a roll call, please?
Motion
Oh,
to
no, I'm
adopt.
sorry. Oh, I did it again. Motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2017-09.
Second,
Second?
all right, all in, roll call, please.
We got one more.
That's so funny. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes?
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes.
Okay, let's go out strong. with
One
the
last
There we go. Next on the agenda is ordinance number 2017-10. Ms. Marsh.
This is an ordinance appropriating $170,000 from the Water Capital Improvement Fund for various capital improvements for the water utility in and by the Township of Pequannock in the County of Morris, New Jersey.
All right, any comments from council? No. Can I have a motion to open public portion?
I'll make a motion to open.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Any members of the public have questions or comments? All right, can I have a motion to close?
I'll make a motion to close.
Second?
Okay, can I have a motion to adopt this ordinance?
I'll make a motion to adopt 2017-10.
And a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes?
Mr. Phelan?
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield?
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch?
Yes.
We did it.
Whew.
That was a lot of ordinances.
Okay. All right, next portion of the agenda is ordinances for introduction. We don't have any at this time, so we're going to move on to resolutions for approval, which we do have quite a few, but we can put them all together. So I'm going to ask Ms. Marsh to read through resolutions 2017-104 through 113.
Resolution R 2017-104, authorizing release of designated escrow deposits. 2017-105, designating Pequannock Township as a stigma-free community. R 2017-106, authorizing an agreement between the Township and the County of Morris, establishing a cooperative means of conducting certain community development and home activities programs. R 2017-107, authorizing the acceptance of a hold harmless agreement from Capri Investments, Argetem Ameti, for block 1701 lot 10, otherwise known as 13 Arundel Road. R 2017-108, authorizing the acceptance of a hold harmless agreement from Christopher and Laura Gibbons on block 1704 lot 4, 17 Brookline Drive. R 2017-109, confirming the award of a contract for the Pequannock Library Edition by the Pequannock Township Public Library Board of Trustees. R 2017-110, authorizing a 2017 municipal grant application in the amount of $2,000. R 2017-111, approving change order number 21 for the Village Area Sewer Project and increasing the contract with Underground Utilities Corporation to a revised contract price of $12,301,460.48. R 2017-12, approving payment of the itemized claims as set forth on the May 19th, 2017 bill list. And R 2017-113, authorizing tax office refunds, overpayments, or cancellations.
All right, thank you, Carol. Does any members of the council have comments on
Yeah,
any of these?
I'm sorry, Mayor. The approving change order number 21, what was the price and now what's the price difference here?
Once Crew Engineers and Underground Utilities came together, they produced the final quantities. And once the final quantities were determined, that was the final contract price.
What did we originally think it was going to be?
It was 13 million.
So it's less?
Yes, it's less.
This is good.
So that's a good thing for once.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I have a question on 106, the one with the Morris County Community Development.
Yes.
That calls for, I believe, 2 members on a committee, Chris. Do we know who they're going to be? Somewhere in there, I think it says something about appointing 2. Are they town employees or are they council liaisons? What are they?
I'm not sure, but I can find out for you.
Okay.
Actually, Mr. Holberg did mention that. It can be 2 members of the council, so I can, if you want a discussion briefly, you can recommend two members and we can put a resolution on for the next agenda.
Yeah, that would be
Well, I
great.
wouldn't mind being the liaison on
I
that.
was just gonna say, I wouldn't mind either.
I'm interested in that.
Me, Kathy would do it. Anybody else?
Do you have time to sleep? I asked at the last meeting. Sure, no problem. And Kathy and Melissa is fine.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I just don't know if is it liaisons, Carol? He said it's okay?
typically
No, I think
council members.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, okay. And then 109, the library,
Mm-hmm.
on that. I read the resolution and the reasons why. Do we have any kind of responsibility of reaching out and asking, like something was omitted? Did we do that? Like, was it just missing? Or
Yes.
was it-
We did.
We did.
We reached out to the contractor and over certain items they must include with the bid.
So it
We're
wasn't
not
an
really-
oversight that it didn't get stuffed in the envelope or something?
Oh, no,
like that?
he missed it.
It
was,
automatically makes them.
No, but I just wanted to make sure we did our due diligence to make sure that nothing comes back.
yes, we followed up with the person. They did not accidentally not put it in. They
Like the
just forgot
secretary
the
didn't
item.
put something
No.
in or something like that? Okay, I just wanted to be sure that
No.
we'd done everything we were supposed to do. No further
And
questions?
there's no forgiveness on that, right, Bob?
Huh?
You can't say, okay, well, send it in
Yeah,
now.
sometimes there depends on what you missed, but he missed things that were considered non-waivable. So we couldn't waive.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have any further questions.
Anybody else?
I'm good.
Dave, you got anything? You're good, Brian?
I'm good.
Rich?
Yep.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to adopt these resolutions?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2017-104 through 2017-112.
And can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Hurd,
Yes.
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Phelan,
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield,
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch.
Yes.
Did we forget 113?
13,
Oh,
Oops, where's 113?
last one.
Oh, it only says
No, it's not on mine.
I'm sorry, it was on the revised agenda.
it was on the revised one.
Sorry.
Did you-
Okay, so make a motion for 113?
Yeah, let's do that separate.
It's fine,
What was that for?
I'm sorry.
What
That was the tax office refunds, overpayments, and cancellations.
Yes. I'll make a motion for 2017-113.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call?
Mr. Hurd,
Yes.
Mr. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Phelan,
Yes.
Ms. Winterfield,
Yes.
Mayor Florence Lynch.
Yes.
I apologize, I printed this at work this morning. I didn't see
It was a very last minute agenda, I should have pointed it out when I was reading them. Thanks.
No problem.
All right, next on the agenda is just items for discussion. We had the pipeline ordinance last time, and we all wanted to take some time to kind of digest that. Does anyone have,
So, is this the ordinance that we want to do, this top one here, pipeline ordinance?
well, we're just going to have a discussion about it tonight, but I know last time no one had a chance to read it, I don't think.
Right, but is this
Is this the verbiage?
right, is it, thank you, Brian, is this the verbiage we're going to use?
Yeah, this is what our planner has come up with and recommended.
We can make changes, though, if we
Right,
want.
I didn't see anything that was negative in it, I
No.
don't have a problem with
Did
it.
anybody have
doesn't-
some things that they
Well,
wanted to add or change?
I did have one question. Do you have? I
Yep,
just
I
have it here. It was about the soil that is removed.
Right.
You know how we always have, what is that called, that zero fill, whatever?
That-
Is this in line with that?
But that's in a floodway, or flood area, Kathy, isn't it?
Well, I just wanted to make sure that this was consistent with what we already say.
Mhm.
Where did I see that today? Inspection, it's something about the disposal of the soil. Can you find that?
I'm trying.
Are you talking about under pipeline corridor protection requirements?
Oh, yes. After completion of backfill compound, sexually returned to grade and practical lots associated with.
Yeah. Isn't there a
So
zero
it,
fill?
so it
It's
refers
different.
to, it is, this zero fill applies to flood areas, I think as was said. This is coming up with direct regulations for the pipeline, and I think it is consistent with our soil removal
Okay.
requirements. We're gonna, they want it brought back to grade and basically,
But I just want to
flat.
make sure that this,
And, yes, that would be within the terms of that appropriate disposal site for
Okay.
removal, yeah.
okay.
Question, do we have any pipeline ordinance on the books as of right now?
You're looking at it.
Zero.
No, this
Zero.
is our beginning.
We do not. And again, this doesn't mean that we support or don't support the pipeline.
Right, but-
It just talks about pipelines in general.
We have
It's
pipelines
any
in town, yeah.
pipeline, and
This
it's,
is for new pipelines, this is not
Right.
for existing pipelines.
Yeah, I think some of the pipelines that are in, of course, predated zoning, and others probably came after, certainly, but
Mhm.
probably got approval from the board
So this is, we're also talking about inspection in this, as well as construction of it, so the whole process.
Right, this is an attempt to add some regulation to the entire process.
Just in case somebody.
Just in
decides
case.
to
Absolutely, I
put a
totally
pipeline
agree.
to it.
Yep.
Have we heard anything recently on our Pilgrim pipeline?
What, we're not talking about.
No, I
that
just
here.
wondered if anybody's heard
I
anything.
have not heard anything, and we're not talking about that.
Okay.
We're talking
No,
about
and
our
that's what I
ordinance.
said. It didn't mean that we were for or against it. I just,
I guess
Anybody-
since this issue came, had gone to the planning board also to talk about, we probably should be sure that they've seen this.
Well, the
Yes.
planning board has not talked about this. What I would suggest is
We
that we
need-
forward this to the planning board.
we should.
Get some
For
advice.
comment, at
Right,
least.
get some advice from the planning board.
Before
But
we introduce it.
Personally, I don't think the planning board is gonna have a problem with this.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they should read it.
Is this something that environmental would get involved
They,
in?
they,
at all?
I
They've
brought it to them,
reviewed it?
they've had it to read.
Okay, and they didn't have any,
Well, they wanted to read, at our next meeting, we'll review it again, we have time still.
okay. All right, yeah, and if anybody has anything to
I think it's good.
add or change,
No, I think it's
or they
good.
have
Move it on to the
questions.
planning board.
Yeah, that's what I said too, move it to the planning board.
Okay, Tommy, if
I'm
anything
sorry,
that's on our
just-
agenda, our next one.
Yep, sorry.
What, that's the environmental, it's not on our agenda yet on the planning board.
No, I'm talking,
Yeah, okay.
You want this ordinance in this,
excuse me.
in this format forwarded to the planning board? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
I don't know
why
when their next meeting is, it depends on if there's any business.
Oh, anything on, yeah.
Yeah, so, the next meeting should be the first Monday in,
Yeah, you
June,
definitely want their.
but I don't think that there's anything on the agenda at this present moment. So it may not happen until June 19th,
That's all right.
which is the second,
That's okay.
just to give everybody a heads up.
I'd rather everybody review it and make their comments. Okay. Anything else on that?
But
Oh.
listen, yes, we want you to.
We'll let you comment,
All
sure.
right, see,
Come on up,
when
say,
you don't
say,
ask us to do something, we do it.
I think you answered my question, which John Bannon, 212 Greenleaf Court, Pompton Plains, which is known as Cedar Crest Village. And when I saw something on the agenda relating to pipelines, and naturally we're thinking of the pipeline that we discussed the last two.
the dirty
days.
one.
What is this pipeline you're referring to in this particular one?
It's not any particular,
Any particular one? And is that ordinance available to the public yet?
Yes.
I can give you a copy.
you can have a copy of the draft, yeah, we're
I'll
just
give you my
discussing it.
copy.
We didn't do anything with it yet.
Yeah, it's gonna go to the planning board.
An environmental commission, if you'd like to review it.
My personal opinion is I don't see any issues with it since I sit on the planning board. And since Melissa sits on the planning board, usually the council would, the members on the council would say to the planning board, yeah, we're okay with this, and so forth. So, and like I said, I don't think there's a planning board member or meeting the first Monday of June because I don't think there's anything yet on the agenda. However, I do believe there is one on June 19th, which I will not be at.
So you will have time, if you have comments or anything, let us know.
All right, I appreciate that. We haven't been back, I'm sure you appreciate, we haven't been back in about a year on the other issue, but we are dealing with Spectra Energy on the current pipeline, the gas pipeline. There's some issues come up, particularly with the last explosion in Pennsylvania a year ago.
That's an existing.
That concerns us, huh?
That's an existing pipeline?
Yes,
Right.
when it is.
Right, this is for any new pipeline. This is not for an existing pipeline.
Okay, good. Then, all right, then we'll get into that later on. Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you, John. All right, if there's no other discussion items, then next is reports and notices. We had one on the Morris County Solid Waste Management Plan. Do we have any comments or questions on that?
No, that sounds like a great thing.
I think it's great, right? And that meeting is, what was the date of that? It was, yeah, June 14th.
It's operational now, so hopefully people are using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope something happens.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was operational now. I guess they're just going to
Yeah, it sounds like the county's gonna.
clarify it on.
Yeah, but based on reading it, I'm wondering if they're gonna not leave it open to the public, and it's
That's what
gonna,
I was.
that's what I was worried about, that you can't go there as a public and you have to go there as some kind of authorized user. You know, some kind of vendor. That's kind of the way I took it, and I was a little concerned. you want me to make a phone call?
Yeah,
or-
can we get clarification on that?
I'll follow up on that.
Thanks.
Will you?
Sure.
Yeah, didn't you, Chris, read it, kind of take
I
that?
read it the same way,
Because we
yes.
were just saying, we thought we had this great find, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden now it might not be true.
Okay, I'll follow up.
Okay,
Yeah, because
thank
that's
you.
going to be a problem, because we would love to have that opportunity to have our residents go there.
Well, of course.
Unless we're gonna have to start picking it up and bringing it there, I don't know. So I don't know what this means.
And definitely do it before they meet.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, anyone else have comments or questions on that?
No?
Okay, moving right along, I'm going to jump right to the manager's report. Chris, if you have some things to report?
Just a few informational items. There is no recycling collection on Monday, May 29th, in observance of Memorial Day. Recycling collection will resume on Monday, June 5th. Vegetative waste and trash will still be collected on Tuesday, May 30th, as scheduled. And Shred Day is scheduled for next Saturday, June 3rd, from 9 a.m. to 12 in the front parking lot here at Town Hall. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. All right, Ryan, what do you got tonight?
What do I have?
Anything?
I do. Just a couple quick things. Open space. They are looking for projects for fiscal year 2018, so if anybody has any interesting ideas for them, start to look for them. The kiosk is being erected right now over on Pequannock Ave, and we want to thank Spencer Andrea because it's his Eagle Scout project. It's coming along great.
Nice.
Under MAC and PQ, Pequannock Coalition, we're worried about the loss of funding from DC for the Office of National Drug Control Policy, and this is what gives them funding. I just did see in our packet from the Morris County Board of Chosen Freeholders where they do have a funding up to $2,000, and it's available to all municipalities, but it's a match, it's a 50% match. Is this something that we can take advantage of, Chris?
I believe so, but I just have to get further clarification. But
We just approved that.
yeah, we just
Yes.
approved it.
Yeah, we do that
So
every
we
year
should
do
so
that
far.
every year.
That's what we just did.
So if they can
I thought.
apply for it, then they can get, that would be $4,000, that would go to MAC, Municipal Alliance.
Yeah, we always do that.
Yeah, $2,000 from the county, $2,000 from
us.
from us.
Okay.
Yep.
The only other thing I have is, remember we were talking about e-cigarettes a while back? Do we have any ordinances on the book specifically for e-cigarettes?
We don't.
So somebody forwarded me this, which is an ordinance that Highland Park has. That basically is just when it's more of a licensing fee, and then the license fee would then go to offset programs
Okay.
for smoking and whatnot. So I'll give you this, take a look at it.
Yeah, we
Might
should
be
get it
something that we can
to our health officer
Okay.
to take a look at.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Rich?
Company 2 had their meeting last Thursday. They had some questions which I forwarded to the township manager. I'm waiting for an answer. And that's basically it.
Okay. Kathy?
I don't have anything, but I'll see everybody at the parade.
Oh, what are we wearing?
I think it's supposed to rain too, so I don't know,
Oh,
Chris.
They say it's supposed to, it's getting better, they say, the weather.
We have to
Yeah.
figure out what we're
We
gonna
should have
do.
never canceled it last year, but
It
that's...
worked out better, actually.
It is
I'll
a-
tell you, because the ceremony was superb. It was so much better, because people came because they wanted to watch the ceremony. You know, we really need to get the word out to the organizations, I think. If you come, you should stay.
You're good on Facebook, get out there.
Oh, I will. And they already have said that. Colleen has
Yeah.
commented on that.
Mhm.
But I don't know, we have to have a better way of communicating, like on or off. Last time it was really sketchy because it was the wind, right? Or something, why we really canceled
The
it.
wind? No, it wasn't even raining when the parade was started.
Yeah, but it was the rain, it had something to do with the rain and the wind, I don't know.
I don't remember.
Well, let's just hope for sunshine.
What-
Yeah. That's all we can do is hope for
What are,
sunshine.
what's...
What are we gonna wear?
Attire,
Yeah.
attire, right.
I say we wear the
Well,
same
depends on
thing
the
we
weather.
wore last year.
No, Dave,
What was it?
I don't want to wear that.
I wasn't here last year.
What did you wear last year? Yeah, what did you wear last
So you don't have to come, Ryan.
We had shorts last year.
Shorts,
the Boy Scouts.
If it's hot, shorts.
I'll go shorts.
Shorts.
You guys can't handle like khaki pants?
The last
huh?
time we marched, we wore
Yeah,
shorts.
how about
Yes, I
khaki
agree.
pants? That would be good.
Yeah, what's wrong with khaki pants?
Shorts are better. Me and
But it's
Dave
not
say-
bad.
I have not heard back, but I did.
Those are our insurance.
We did have Lou reach out, even though he does it every year. We had him do another letter. I have to call to see if any of the school board members are going to march with us. We're trying to encourage them to also march in the parade.
That's a good idea.
So I had Lou send out a special letter, and then I had sent out an email. So, but it just went out. The email went out yesterday, last night. The letter from Lou went out last week, and they just had their school board meeting last night. So they probably just got them last night. So we'll see if we get anybody to join us. We invited, the superintendent's office and the school board members and whoever they felt from their offices they wanted to have and march with us. So that would be nice.
Stacy, is it okay if we ride over with the first aid squad?
Hey,
Of course.
I was gonna report that. Yes,
Oh,
thank you.
sorry.
It's fine.
Oh, they did?
Same thing as last year.
So what time do we meet?
9:30.
You gotta check with Tom, the chief.
What time
It's
does the
usually about
parade start?
9:30,
10.
10.
9:30 is good.
So 9:30 meet down at the
Yep, first aid.
Forest.
Okay. I'll be running back from my camping trip that morning, so I'll meet you then.
That's your annual.
You gotta change that trip, Melissa.
So you're not gonna meet us down?
No, I am.
You
I'll
are?
be back, yeah.
Last, or
Unless
the year
my camper
before,
breaks down.
Wait, Melissa, 2 years before, you
I know.
cut that a little close.
I know,
I
2 years
think you met
ago.
us down by
Yeah.
Waldo's.
We were like-
Waldo's.
With the RV?
Yeah,
No, was that before I
it's gonna be tough, but we'll get there. I did it every year, so now that I said it though, I probably jinxed myself.
Yeah, right.
That's all, I don't have anything else.
Okay, that's it?
Yep, that's
All right, and we decide we're wearing what? Shorts or
Shorts.
khakis?
All right, shorts.
You
Guys
like
wear
wearing
shorts.
khakis?
All right, well, I'm gonna wear khakis.
Well, the men are wearing shorts, the ladies can wear khakis.
Okay.
Sure.
That's why I wear a dress.
No. It depends on the weather. I can't
Well, it
decide
could be
now.
40
We'll decide.
degrees.
Oh.
I'll tell you right now.
I just looked,
I'll wear shorts.
rain. We have more options, girls.
This has been debated more
And
than
it's
I
gonna be, yeah. I have Dave, where's
I have
that?
nothing really. Fair housing will meet tomorrow. PV Park opens this week, so hopefully it's gonna be a great weekend for PV Park, and we'll see you at the parade.
There
Okay.
you go.
That's it.
And thank you, Dave. You guys said everything already, so we already covered Shred Day is June 3rd. We covered the parade on Monday. Don't forget the Chamber is hosting the street fair on Sunday, June the 4th. 4th, is that what it is?
It's earlier
4th?
this year.
And it's 11 to 5. So.
No result?
And I meant to ask, is the Environmental Commission is not having a table this
No.
year at the street fair, but you did invite the Mosquito Commission, so they know what they have to do if they want to join.
It's 11?
It's always.
Yeah, it runs from 11 to 5.
Did it always start at 11?
I don't
I
think.
thought it did.
Do I have that wrong?
It always started at
Yeah.
It's always 11. For some reason, I think
It's
it
just June 4th.
Yeah, I thought it was 10 too.
It's earlier in the month.
Yeah. that's
It is
definitely
earlier in the month.
It is earlier this year, so. And this year we're having a classic car show, and some things are different because it's being
It's
run
not
by.
on Wayne Day, so
Right.
there's probably gonna be a lot of people there.
Yes, because it used to always be held on Wayne Day, and Wayne Day is pushed off to the following week. Either that or we moved ours up early
We moved
because of Wayne
ours.
Day.
Is there gonna be alcohol again?
Yes.
I believe there is.
And
you
you
gonna
can
be
bring your
playing,
skateboard and your
You're gonna
helmet
be on
and
the
skate.
stage?
No, I'm gonna be at the stand, I'm gonna be jamming the.
So hopefully everybody will come and have a good time. Other than that, my only other thing is I'm having, Economic Development Committee meets next Wednesday at 7:30. Other than that, I have nothing. So thank you. And what else we got? Next on the agenda is public comment. If anyone has anything, please come forward.
It
Like
looks
your-
a book, Jordan.
I
What was
love your
that?
It looks
t-shirt.
like a book you just wrote.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love your t-shirt.
Jordan Galliano, 10 Peck Avenue, Pompton Plains. I would just love to thank the council, Mrs. Winterfield, Mr. Hallberg, Mr. Phelan, and Chris, and Mr. Hallberg, who's not here today, to thank them. Oh, and Mr. Hurd, of course, for
Don't
everything.
forget Melissa.
And Melissa, yes.
Okay.
For everything that you guys have done to help facilitate the skate park project to this point. I'm sure 10 years ago, Mrs. Winterfield didn't imagine having the funds allocated to at this point for something this amazing that would benefit so many kids in the community. And I just want to thank you all again for everything that you've done to help support us and for us to support the community. And this is just an amazing feat that I never would have thought would have happened without Steve Connolly and Mrs. Winterfield. So again, I just want to thank you all very much.
Well, I also see that there's skate lessons arranged for this.
Yes, yes, we are doing skate lessons with Skate.now. It's actually a kid from Wayne that I know. He's going to be helping us do skate lessons through Parks and Rec.
Right.
And then hopefully we might try to do some lessons during the street fair when we have our little skate area set up. And we are having shirts made, stickers made, and doing more fundraising campaigns this year to get more funds for the skate park and hopefully have it ready next year. That's what I would like. But.
Where are you guys set up at the street fair for your
We
skate?
don't know yet. She hasn't really.
You've been in contact with Heidi then?
Yeah, yeah.
Either down by off
street.
Evans
Yeah,
or
the end of the one of the street ends is probably the.
Towards Manor.
Okay.
Yeah.
somewhere around there. But yes,
Okay.
and we encourage you all to come by and check it out. And we
Bring your helmets.
Well,
yes, bring your helmets, of course. Yeah.
We'll have helmets too.
Yeah, we will have helmets
For
to.
Boards.
the kids will have them.
Okay, great.
Fantastic. Thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thanks. All right, no minutes tonight to approve? Right?
That's correct.
All right, do we have any closed session items tonight?
No.
All right, so we can skip right to adjournment. Is
I'll
there a
make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Opposed? All right.